It takes a bit. Really does.
Because then even after it says you're live, it takes a couple seconds for
Everything
to kick in.
Yeah.
It takes a couple seconds for do. Yeah, it does take a little bit to register. Holy shit. My kick is still not oh, there it is.
It just went. I just got the noting.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls,
welcome to the podcast today.
Welcome, strangers.
I am Brones.
I am that Doug dude.
He's that Doug dude.
No
And
drinking
we're
here.
live. Chef, what's going on, brother? How we doing, man?
We
So, Doug,
are
I have a
live.
question.
Answer.
I got a question for you. And this is, again, superhero related. Kind of.
All right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it is. So, I was thinking of questions to ask. And this is my question. This is my question of the podcast.
Okay.
What is your fondest memory, whether it's from childhood or like teenagehood, of a comic book shop? Like, what is your fondest memory of going to a comic book store, or just anything superhero related? I'll make it easier.
Anything superhero related?
Yeah, anything superhero related. Like, what is your fondest memory? Whether it's going to a comic shop, going to like a really cool toy store that was like comic book and superhero stuff, whatever it is, like what is one of your fondest memories from childhood, teenagehood, early adulthood, whatever?
Just in general. So I can think of two specifically. One would be like, obviously, like Iron Man is my thing. Always has been. Like I have a love for all Marvel DC characters, and not just comics, just across the board, anime. But honestly, when Iron Man 1 hit theaters, I saw it in theaters, and I just remember like finally seeing that character being portrayed live, not just like animated, because we had so many animations back in the day. Getting to see that character come to life live, and like watching like a little bit of the backstory that they brought in with the rebels and whatnot, and I just it was a huge moment. Like, and I think that's one of the reasons why I still enjoy that character. Like that end scene,
Right.
where Robert Downey's up there and he's doing his speech or whatever. He's supposed to like be de-escalating everything, and you're like, this isn't the Tony Stark that we know,
Right.
Like, because he's one of the most prominent characters that people know. He is this person, right? Like, obviously we know Bruce Wayne is Batman, but there's a lot of people that don't know that.
Right.
But the fact that like that end scene where he's like, I'm blah blah blah, and he's like, and you know what? I am Iron Man. I was like, oh, this is it. I think that end scene right there of that movie, that is like one of my most like beloved memories, because it was like, all right, here we go. Like,
it was a monumental moment.
Yeah.
It was a very monumental moment and a very good beginning to the MCU that we have now. I mean, aside from the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, which is now on Disney
canon.
Plus because Marvel got the rights back.
And it's
Culberson
considered canon.
Matt, thank you for saving civilians, brothers.
Because we have characters and people from that movie in current MCU projects.
It's
just the fact that we don't have Edward Norton's version of
which
Hulk.
I'm still upset about, man. I'm still kind of butthurt about that.
I like Mark Ruffalo. I like what he did with the first two iterations.
He just doesn't fit the build of him, though. I like him too, but he's not Bruce Banner, bro.
No, he doesn't. But at the same time, like, I like what they did where they made Hulk look like Mark Ruffalo turned into the Hulk. I thought that was such good planning. Like, let's make our Hulk, but let's make it look like the Bruce Banner we have you know,
Right.
versus just a random green guy, you know, like we had with the fucking Eric Bana shit.
Oh my god, dude!
looked
I
like
can't get
fucking
over how
Gumby.
bad that movie is.
It's so fucking
I can't
bad.
get over how bad that movie was, dude.
But-
and everybody loved it when it first came out.
Yeah, again, I think it's the concept of like when we first saw Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, we were absolutely infatuated with the fact that we have Spider-Man on big screen, right? Regardless of the acting skills of Tobey Maguire, and what those movies, you know, actually were when you watch them now. But yeah, I truthfully, I liked Edward Norton's Hulk tenfold over anything we had, or especially currently have, because I don't know about, you know, the ladies and gentlemen in our chat and watching, but this smart Hulk bullshit that we have right now, I'm over it.
Yeah,
You know,
100% over it, dude.
actually, one of the articles that we're going to kind of read into a little bit kind of explains James Gunn's thoughts on what current MCU projects are doing and what they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
But, you know, yeah, the Edward Norton Hulk, I think, was absolutely amazing. I think they did an
100%.
excellent job with not only with the Bruce Banner that we had, but the transformations, the visuals, you know, the CGI we did have looks nothing like the fucking CGI we have now. And that was fucking, what, 10 years ago? Like,
Yeah,
how have
longer.
How have we regressed with our visuals? I don't understand. We're putting more fucking money into these movies, yet we're getting shittier quality. Like, it makes no fucking sense.
It's because of that VFX like leader, the president lady that has recently been fired or quit, or I can't remember. I'm pretty sure she got fired.
She got fired. Yeah.
But it was because she was trying to force this shit out. Like, and I mean, let's be real here. Marvel has been like nonstop pumping this shit out for the last 2.5, 3 years. Like, even longer than that.
Truthfully, longer than that, because if you think about the last 15, right? The last 15 years, we've had nonstop Marvel product. And you can see the downward degrade of visual effects. I'm not saying like it's unwatchable, but it's getting there. I think like it's getting to the point where we really, or not we, they need to take a step back and be like, what the fuck are we doing with our, you know, of effects here? Because shit's getting too unrealistic, or it's getting too muddy or too cartoony, you know?
Right. They're just trying too hard. I mean, in 1 year we had what, 4 TV shows come out on top of 2 movies, and it was like, bro, like, you guys need to pump the fucking brakes here. Like, we had Miss Marvel come out, and then Moon Knight came out like 2 months afterwards, and then a movie came out another 2 months after that. It was like, dude, like, how are you pumping out 2 entire TV series and then pumping out an entire movie within 6 months,
and still,
you know, in like a small window,
you know, and still having budgets on these shows and movies that are astronomical, yet we're having very low quality shows. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Now, don't get me wrong, some of the shows are good. Like, we've got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we've got Loki, we've got Moon Knight. Like, those are all really good shows. But even
go ahead.
Even like She-Hulk, like, in my opinion, it's a good show because it's comic accurate. I know your qualms with it. Yeah. But you could even see that's where the VFX really started to dive. Like,
I think we've been struggling a minute with the visual effects and the Marvel side of things, and I think it's across the board, like, not just Marvel, but in general. A lot of movies have struggled, and we'll kind of touch on one that we were gonna, you know, look at here. But the visual effects across the board, it's like, what happened? Because there's like, it's like, let's spend more money. And I know exactly what it is. Let's spend more money on actors and actresses, but less on the actual movie, because, you know, a large percentage of your budget goes to getting those actors, especially when you're paying them 15, 20, 30 million dollars to be in a movie. And then the movie has a budget of, you know, what, 200 million, a billion, yeah, like
Stupid expensive.
right, like
So-
I'm talking budget, like that's what it costs them to get
Yeah.
everyone in there. So if you've got 5 actors and actresses that are wanting anywhere from, I don't know, fucking 15 to 30 million, fuck, that's
Yeah.
a fucking huge portion. Like, fuck that, man. Pay some guys, hey man, here's $5,000. I want to be in a movie, you know, and put that budget towards
Right.
the, you know, the build of your movie. Like,
So like I started seeing the downfall of these films with No Way Home. With No Way Home,
Yeah.
when they brought in all 3 Spider-Men, they brought in all the old school villains. Like, dude, can you just think about how much fucking money they had to
Yeah.
spend, not
Oh,
only
yeah.
on Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Holland as well as the
Oh.
special effects, but they had to pay Willem Dafoe, Thomas Hayden Church, the guy that plays the Lizard, the
Mhm.
fucking Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
They had to pay all of these people, J.K. Simmons. They
Yeah.
had to pay all of these guys astronomical amounts of money
yeah.
for such a small role in these films.
And you
And
saw
the
that it
visual effects were
struggled.
garbage.
Right. Like, I'm not saying the entire movie had issues, but like,
Right.
plain and simple. Okay. Here, perfect example. Like what you just said. Okay. So we had Sandman from the Tobey Maguire era of Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
The visual effects that we had for Sandman were pretty fucking
so
good.
bad. They.
Well, back then,
Ah.
back then.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
like
Back
OG,
then, back
not-
then.
I'm not talking this
Okay.
new one. That's where I'm comparing this like visual effects issue we have.
Right,
Right.
right.
So back then we had Sandman, and for what they did with that character, it was fucking phenomenal. Right?
Yeah. And this was way back in 08.
Right. And then we get this fucking entire CG fucking Sandman bullshit in No
Yeah.
Way Home. And it was like, why? You'd been better off not having that character in the film.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
it looked so fucking bad.
Yeah.
And like it's the same concept as like the Fast series, right? They want to keep fucking Paul Walker around because he was part of the, I get
Right.
it.
The dude's
I
dead.
understand. I
Like-
get that. He was your brother. I'm not taking anything away from that.
Right.
But the CG nonsense that we're trying to pull to make this shit, it's like, just fucking quit, man.
Yeah, like the dude is dead. Let him fucking rest.
Yeah.
You know, like I
Um,
hate to say that, but like let the dude fucking rest.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, yeah.
Back on the question, you said that you had another fond memory that like really solidified your love for things.
Yeah, so not necessarily love for, but it just like the fact of like it
Like you
just
knew you belonged.
right. So and this one's more recent. Like this is in the past like 10 years, you know. So we went to Gatlinburg with a big group of friends.
Uh-huh.
And on the way out, they were like, is there anything anybody wants to do? Blah, blah, blah. Well, we passed this fucking comic book store like 20 fucking times, right? I'm like, I want to go. It's just a little hole in the wall. You can tell it was like a single, really tiny building. And it just always had an open sign. I'm like, I wonder if this place is closed or what's up with it. Curiosity, right?
Yeah.
So we go, sure shit, they're open. And the dude that now owns it bought it off of his grandmother owned the building and someone else ran the comic book store, and then the comic book person like disappeared. Like it was such a random story, right? And so then the grandmother gave the whole building to this guy, and he was trying to just offload inventory. He's like, I know it's good stuff. He's like, but I don't have the time to go through. And I'm telling you, like, this building was probably like the actual area of where it was, like where comics were actually stored, was probably, I don't know, I'll give you like a 40 by 40
Okay.
wall to wall white boxes, like, you know, normal like comic boxes,
Yeah.
stacked 5 tall, enough length like to walk through from wall to wall there, and just like corner to corner, fucking full. And he's like,
Ah, damn.
there's more in the back, there's more in the basement. He's like, and I just need it to go.
Holy
and I'm
shit.
like, Like at the
I'll
time,
take it all.
well, it is at the time, you know, it was before we were making like decent money. It was at that time where like, you know, you were kind of living day to day, and we were on this vacation, so we'd already spent a significant amount of money, and I'm like,
Right.
I want to spend more money, you know.
I want to spend it all.
I bought one. I think I remember buying a like full box worth of comics off the guy for like
shit.
$50.
Oh damn.
Like he was selling them for like $1. He's like, unless it's, you know, something that we know is worth a lot, which they would have never known, because again, they were all just
They didn't
scattered
look.
about. Like they're just scattered about, right? It's not
Right.
like they knew. I mean, dude, if it was one of those moments where like that proved to me like I enjoy this because I wanted to buy every fucking box that was in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I make you a deal, can I pay you $5,000 for everything that's here? You know, it was one of those situations like,
Bro,
someone's riding on the fucking roof because I'm gonna have 1,800 boxes of comics.
Imagine if you did actually offer that to him and he said yes, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know how much money you would have right now? Because
I-
you would have been able to sell most of that shit for stupid expensive.
I-
Heather, how we doing?
I truthfully, you know, if I'd have had the money at the time to make a like significant offer, I think he would have taken it, because
Most likely.
he was just trying to get rid of it because he knew nothing about it. He was
Right.
just there because he basically inherited it, and the guy that owned it was just like, he was gone. And I was just like, man, and it was one of those moments where like you wish you could like fast forward, somehow get a fuck ton of money and come back and be like, here's fucking 10 grand, I'll take everything.
Here you go, man.
Here's a $10,000 check, just leave. You know,
Dude.
And
That'd be fucking crazy.
it really it makes you think, because it's like, you know, as a comic nerd, geek, whatever the fuck you want to call us, it truly like, all I kept thinking about on the way home was like, I wish I bought more, you know.
Right.
I wish I bought more. I wish I bought them all. Like, it was like, can we go back? Can I get a loan from the bank? I don't know how you take a loan out for comic books, but you know, I could probably pay it off with like 2
I
or
need
3.
15 grand. I gotta buy some comic books.
I gotta
Please
buy a
and thank
building.
you, Mr. Bank Person.
Yeah, I gotta buy a building that's got some stuff in it that I know I'll make some money off of.
Dude, that would have been fucking insane.
Yeah, it was just one of those like, all the years of like, because we've had that discussion where like we were the weird kids.
Yeah.
We were the fucking weird kids because I like random shit like plushies and signs and fucking Legos and all of this shit that's up here that, you know, nobody can see, obviously.
Right.
But we were the weird kids because we wore fucking anime shirts to school or superhero shirts to school. We were the fucking weird kids, right? And so it makes you, as a kid, as an impressionable, you know, child, you're like, am I the weird kid? You know, because so many people didn't, you know, or they did, and they were like closet nerds, and they're like, oh, you know.
Right. They were like, oh, I don't want to be judged for being into this kind of thing. Like, let it fly, baby.
I was and still am the person to, oh my God.
I'm still the weird kid, bro.
I'm still the weird kid.
Everybody I work with, none of them are into the shit that we are. And my boss is nice enough to let me talk
I gotta
to
tell
him
you
about this
these
shit.
shoes I just bought today, and it kind of like plays into that. But yeah, and it kind of, you know, it was affirmation of like, no, you're not the weird kid, because you just enjoy what you enjoy, and
you're
like,
just different.
Yeah, and again, this was within the last 10 years that this happened. So I'm fucking 33 now. I think this was in like 2014, 2015, and it was like, nope, this is me. This is what I enjoy. You know, because
100%.
you know, the people we were with, they like kind of fan through a couple boxes and bought like 3 or 4, and I'm like, I got a whole fucking box, you know. And it's like, I was super fucking pumped because I had a whole box of comics, and you know,
hell
I of course made out with a lot of like Iron Man shit just because that's what I was after, you know. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm the weird kid, and I don't give a shit. I mean, it's everywhere, dude, and I don't care. Like, I've got fucking Pokemon earrings in, and like I wear shoes that are super fucking out there and colorful because like what's the point of going through life being fucking boring, right? Like
Same. Bro, I love vibrant colors. Like I can't like, don't get me wrong, I like darker colors like
Yeah.
red, dark purple, fucking, but like give me the stupid vibrant colors. Like give me the shit that like really stands out and
Yeah.
people are like, what's wrong with that guy?
yeah,
Nothing's wrong with me.
no.
I'm just
me.
I love living my life.
I'm just me. Yeah. I still wear checkered Vans. I have red paisley Vans that I wear all the time. I have fucking taxi cab Vans. It's just
that those little things that make
Yeah.
us who we are.
so
You know,
side note, like again with the weirdness that I am, there's a like nationally known, well, not national, I guess it's national. There's a guy, he's a a clothing designer. Okay, his name is Karl Lagerfeld. Never heard of it in my entire life. Okay, we're walking through this store today and I see these, like, it was like a clutch or a wallet or something. It's got this really cool little dude on there. He's got sunglasses and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And the person we were with was like, that's Karl Lagerfeld. And I was like, okay,
Who?
you didn't give me any more information to let me know anything that I already didn't know, which was I have no fucking clue who that is, right?
yeah.
So just kept seeing the stuff all across the store. Like it was just, he has this little caricature. And I happen to be back in the shoes and I find these like gray leather, they look like almost very similar to a Vans shoe, but the toe is like rubberized and it almost looks like a tire tread, which I thought was kind of cool. And then on the tongue, it's got this little knight. He's like a little knight in some like shining armor. I'll have to send you a picture of him. And I'm like, no, these are fucking sick. Like, I'm like, you know, these are fucking cool. And I show them to my person. They're like, oh, that's Karl Lagerfeld. I'm like, Karl Skarsgård or whatever the fuck you just said to me. I was like, because, you know, I don't know. I'm not bougie like that, right? I don't know.
Right.
I know like the typical high-end names, you know, Gucci,
Right.
fucking Louis Vuitton, shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck Carl is. You know, fucking Carl over here made some shit that looks cool. So I buy these shoes. They're like, I'm not shitting you. They had a fucking price tag on them of like $120. And I'm like,
Holy shit.
but they were in this like clearance section. I'm like, I bet I'm gonna get them cheap. So they have a tag in them for like $60. I'm like, I pay $60 for shoes. Like that's normal. I pay that for Vans and Converse.
Right.
And the whole time I'm like making fun of this dude, not his designs, but the name, just because I didn't know. I kept calling him Karl Skarsgård because it just sounded funny. And they're making fun of me. They're like, you can't wear him. I'm like, why not? And they're like, because you can't even pronounce his name. I'm like, I know his name. I was like, I just think Karl Skarsgård sounds fucking funny, you know? I get up to the counter, $10.
What?
They were like discounted like 3 weeks prior, and the whole store had like a sale out or a closeout basically, and some of the stuff got tagged. Well, there was still like a few items floating around that hadn't been bought, and those shoes I got them for fucking $9.99.
Holy shit.
And original price tag of $120.
That is fucking crazy.
I was like, the lady was like, that's a pretty good deal. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't gonna say shit. I was like, because that's 60 from 60 to 10. I'm like, that's what happened type moment. But
Yeah, right?
And then she explained it to me. I'm like, I was happy at 60, but I'm very happy at $10.
Yeah, I'll fucking take it. I'll buy 7.
Right? Yeah. But it was just funny. It's just
That's wild.
But it was the design. It really drew me in because, again, the weird kid. It's just me, man.
Dude, there's so many random things that like intrigue me. Like
Yeah.
I'll be walking by something and like I'll see like a little voodoo character, or like I'll see something like bright and vibrant, and I'm like, that's fucking sweet. Like I want that. Like that's cool as fuck.
I think I get it a lot from my dad too, because, you know, he was a hippie. I mean, he grew up in that era of like bright colors and stuff like that. So like the colorfulness that I have, like I have great gray walls, obviously, and everything that I have is so fucking colorful, and the contrast between that just makes it pop that much more. And it's like,
Right.
I think it's the fact that like I get my dad's artistry, and that comes in because of all the colors. I'm the same way, dude. I'm a fucking squirrel when I'm walking through a shop and I'm like, shiny colors. Woo.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm just like,
oh yeah.
what the fuck?
I want to
Oh
buy
my
that.
God.
I have no clue what it does, you know.
That's why I love Fortnite so much, dude.
Yeah.
It's so fucking bright and colorful, and it's like aesthetically pleasing to my fucking brain,
It's
my
like
scatterbrain.
Into the Spider-Verse. It's the same way.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think that's
Guardians
why
of the Galaxy.
Guardians, one of my favorites, and then the newest Spider-Man animation. You know, I truly believe it's one of the best animations we've seen come out in
I have yet to see it.
Oh, what'd I say? Into? Across. What's the
The
first
newest one is the first is Into.
Into, right. It's Into, Across, and then Beyond is the third
Is
one.
the one that's going to be coming out. Yo,
Yeah.
Luke, what's going on, baby? Luke,
Yeah.
aka Quiz, thank you for saving a civilian, brother. Heather, thank you for saving a civilian.
Quiz.
So I have 3 memorable moments. 2 of them are quick ones. One of them is like a little bit more.
I feel like
I'll
mine
start
were
with the
kinda
2.
long-winded.
That's who gives a fuck. That's what we're here. That's what we're here for, bro.
Right.
Really, the 2 that are quick. It's not that they're quick because I don't have a lot to say about them. It's quick because they were just like memories that I remember that were fun but don't need to be further explained.
I got you.
So like obviously the very first thing that really got me solidified into, you know, understanding who I am as like a nerd, a comic book fan, whatever you want to call it, is the fact that my mom, and I think we've touched on this way in the past, but so obviously when I was just a baby, the very first things that I ever got were like the Adam West Batman VHS from the 60s. The movie was obviously made on VHS in the 80s.
Right.
But like just old school Batman action figures, piggy banks, like landline phones. And my mom started to realize that like as I was getting older, all I cared about was like Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Batman the animated series, X-Men animated series, Spider-Man, all the animated superhero shows. So she started taking me to the comic book store when I was young.
Right.
Like we had a little, like you said, a little hole in the wall, you know, like these guys were very knowledgeable. I didn't really care. I just wanted to read about, like, I wanted to go to a different reality.
Yeah.
With reading these comic books. So that was always something that my mom and I had. Like, my mom was very supportive of it. Like cause like she knew that this is what like got me feeling the way that I did, like got me happy, made me excited to actually have a childhood, you know? So like it was always video games and superheroes. That was my thing ever since I was a kid. So that's my first memorable moment, is like my mom was there the entire time during the solidification of my love for this stuff.
Yeah.
The second 2 were with my buddy Phil. Now he's also very into the anime, superheroes, all the movies, all the TV shows, whatever. He's into everything that we are. So we went up to Salem, Massachusetts, literally to go to the Salem Witch Trials Museum because like we're into that weird nerdy shit.
Oh yeah.
By the way, that museum's fucking awesome. Like it's basic, but it's fucking awesome. It's really cool. But while we were in the area, we were like, you know, let's see if there's any comic book stores, because like the whole 2 reasons we were up there was 1, Salem Witch Trial Museum, 2, comic books.
Yeah.
So we went to one comic book. It was in like a weird mall. Like it wasn't a mall. It was like a shopping center, but they called it a mall. That place sucked. But then we went to another comic book store, which was like right around the corner. We had to park in some like back alley and fucking... Come to find out, dude, this this second comic, I can't remember what the fuck it was called for the life of me, but this second comic book store that we went to, it was 3 stories, dude.
Damn.
Fucking massive.
Damn.
An entire wall lined with graded comic books worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. You had graded Magic cards, graded fucking Pokemon cards, fucking an entire floor dedicated to Magic the Gathering, dedicated to Dungeons and Dragons, dedicated to fucking all of these games, like all these RPG games, tabletop games and shit like that. And like I remember I spent like $250 at that store.
Yeah.
Come to find out, I looked up this place. It is rated as one of the best comic book stores on the East Coast. And I was like, Rick?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it was probably the second cool I've ever been to. The first one is what my other fond memory is. So I was like, holy shit, like in Salem, of all fucking places, Salem, this comic book store is rated as one of the East Coast. I was blown away. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was a pretty memorable trip. And the final one, which is probably one of my favorite memories of all time, because I've wanted to go to this place for the longest time ever. I'm a huge fan of like Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes and Jay and Silent Bob and all that stuff.
You bastard. Don't even fucking talk to me about the secret stash. I fucking hate you.
Bro.
I hate you so fucking much.
That was the greatest fucking experience I've ever had.
I bet.
And it wasn't... I met some of the comic book men. They actually work there.
Oh, yeah.
They actually work there.
Yeah, they work
and
for
that's where the episode was filmed. Like the TV show.
Yeah.
The felt table. Oh man, I love that show.
Yeah.
But the felt table with the webcam and all the seats and all the computer equipment was in the back of the store. The Asian dude, I forget his name, but the Asian dude was there. And then the other like larger dude was there.
Mm-hmm.
I got to talking to them about the show. I was like, is Kevin Smith here? If he's here, I'm gonna shit my pants. Like, they were like, no, he's not. He's in LA right now doing something. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But dude, holy shit, it was probably the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. Dude, that place is like an hour away from where I live.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I
Phil,
fucking know.
we gotta drive up there, bro.
Yeah.
We have to go to Red Bank, New Jersey, and we have to fucking go to this place, dude.
Yeah.
It was so fucking cool. I spent like $600 at that place, dude. I bought so much stuff from there, dude. I walked out of there with like 8 bags worth of comic books. There was like 30 comics in each fucking bag. It was insane, dude. Like, I spent so much fucking money at that place, but
yeah. I do have another memory that I'll share, and it's just a quick, well, it's kind of quick, but yeah.
Okay. But yeah, dude, that was probably my favorite fucking experience I've ever had, dude. Like, it was not only my love for Kevin Smith and like Jay and Silent Bob and all of the other movies that Kevin Smith has made coming together, my love for comic book men coming together, but just being there, just standing in front of Jay and Silent Bob's secret stash. Like I started getting butterflies, and I was like, everybody in New Jersey is like, this is just a comic book store, it's a normal thing, but like being a huge fan,
you don't
of
understand
Kevin
it
Smith's,
coming from us, like what that stuff means to us.
Standing there, I was just like,
oh yeah,
I was so fucking excited, and when I walked in, like I was just like, whoa, like it was a fucking dream come true to go to that comic book store.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, that's just one of those things, like, you know, it means something to us. You know,
it really does,
means something
man.
to people like us, where, you know, people who walk past it every day, they're like, oh, it's just another store. You know, something to us though, you know, when it's these, not just because it's Kevin Smith. I mean, Kevin Smith has been involved with a lot of comic projects over the years, because he's so knowledgeable about it. But yeah, I hate you.
And people will never understand it either. Like, they will never people that aren't into comic books and superheroes and like any
Yeah.
of that kind of stuff, they will never understand the feeling that we get. But at the same time, we'll never understand the feeling that, let's say, an avid fisherman gets.
Yeah.
We'll never understand the feeling that, you know, like
Everyone has their own vice. You
yeah,
know?
like we will never get those feelings.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I look at fishing and I'm like, you really have fun capturing and releasing a fish for 12 hours?
Yeah.
Like, that's fun to
I
you?
mean, yeah.
But at the same time, they're thinking that about me. Like, you sit
have
at a
fun
computer screen and play video games all day, and that's
reading
fun
comics.
to you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like reading comic books and watching movies. Like, so everybody's got their thing, man.
Yeah.
And that's what makes humanity so beautiful, is like we all have our things,
Yeah.
but we may not necessarily understand it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But what was your third memory?
So we were sitting around, I think it had to have been a Saturday or Sunday, like late. Friends of ours text us and says, hey, Cincinnati Comic-Con's going on, Stanley's there. And we're like, oh.
I'm in.
Yeah. So, and they like, they happen to say like it's going to be one of his last East Coast appearances.
Mhm.
And we're like, oh fuck, you know, this man's already
We
like,
gotta go.
we gotta go. And again, this was like later in the day. I want to say it was on like Sunday. So most cons like that, would that happen, they're normally only 3 days. Well,
Right.
4. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday is the last day for everything going. So we're like, and this was it was Cincinnati Comic-Con, and which was roughly like 2.5 hours from where we were. We're like,
Okay.
fucking bet it's Stanley, right?
Yeah,
None of this
the
would
father
exist.
of all.
And like, if it were him and Jack Kirby, like, oh my God, my mind would have blown, right?
Oh, dude, I would have cried if I had the chance to meet
So-
Stanley.
We're like, all right, what are we signing? Like, we got to find something, you know? And
Right.
I happen to have a Iron Man skateboard. And
Oh,
I was like,
shit.
because I'm never going to ride it. Like, for one, I'm not a
Right.
skateboarder, but it was one of those things, like, I saw it and I was like,
I
done.
need it.
Yeah, it's a Santa Cruz, like 88. I forget how big it is, but that's regardless. So I'm like, fuck it. Stanley's signing my skateboard, right? Because I'm like,
Hell yeah.
I don't have time to draw anything up, like, you know, because I
Right.
obviously do drawings and stuff. And I was like, I don't have anything. I'm taking my skateboard. So we go down, we haul ass down there because we're like, it's gonna be like end of day. And
Yeah.
they have a schedule that they stick behind, and they were like, it was on a Sunday, and we were like, all right, we gotta get there. So we haul ass down there, we get there, and you walk in. We kind of walked around for a little bit because the signing wasn't until, I don't know, it was like 5 or 6 o'clock or something. Or not the signing, but pictures. So we get in line and we're waiting, and it was, I forget why, but it was like, okay, he's only gonna do pictures, or there was something weird about it, like, because it was so late in the day, they were like, all right, this is the last like picture opportunity, there's not gonna be any more signatures. And we're like, well,
Right.
that sucks, but all right, we'll still get a picture, right? All the while the wife was like, she knows who Stan Lee is, right?
Right.
And you know, we're waiting in line, and you walk around and you're just going back and forth in this fucking thing, and you go around this booth, and there he sits. He's sitting on a stool, and he's like, Excelsior, you know, like, how's everybody doing? Blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. And we're like,
I would have got chills, bro.
oh,
I would have
mean,
got
I was
chills,
like a
dude.
fucking child. I'm like,
Tears
contain
just-
yourself. So they stack us around. The wife's standing right next to him, and a couple of our friends are like over on the other side. And I'm standing behind, and I'm like grinning fucking ear to ear because it's the Godfather, right?
Right.
And then the lady taking the picture looks at my wife. She's like, could you lean in a little bit? And Altita was like, yeah. And so she leans in, right? Well, I didn't notice this. She did because she was involved with it. When she leaned in, her side of her boob like just touches Stan Lee, right? And he goes, And he looks back at the camera, fucking grinning ear to ear. And I'm like, this is fucking amazing. So after we leave, the whole thing, and it always has been, and it'll never change, my boobs touch Stan Lee. And it has been the thing ever since. We've got, our friend that went with us makes magnets, like with different pictures and shit. She superimposed just the wife and Stan Lee, and on words it says, my boob touch Stan Lee. So
that's fucking awesome,
all time high, right? My boob touched Stan Lee. Like, it was amazing. We're like, all right, fuck it. Our things didn't get signed, whatever. So we walked around. I mean, it was a pretty cool joint. It was the last day, so everyone was like trying to get rid of stuff, and I think we bought a few things. Well, we're like, all right, everyone good? And we're like, yeah. So as we're leaving, Stan Lee is walking out of the booth and is like walking side by side with us, and then like walks to like what would be the signing booth, and we're like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, I thought they said they weren't signing anymore, you know? So then one of his handlers walks out, and they're like, if you want a signature from Stan Lee and you have $100, that is your ticket. Come get in line. We're like, fucking dude. I mean, we fucking ran because there were no more tickets. It was sold out for like the signing, and my fucking nose won't stop itching. So we like run up to the line where it's starting, and I mean, there's only like 2 people in front of us, and there's someone standing there like doesn't grasp the concept of they don't have a ticket, but they have $100, and the lady's like, your $100 is your ticket, but I don't have a ticket. And we're like,
oh my god,
fucking move, you know? And so
$100 is your ticket, bitch.
So we literally like pushed around them because we're like, we have our $100. Like, we planned ahead. We brought way too much money with us. So we get through the line. I've got my skateboard. I set it up there, and they're like, oh, this is awesome. Where'd you get this? Blah, blah. You know, the skateboard. My one fear, because at the time, I think he was 96.
Holy Christmas.
Like, it was the year before he passed.
Right.
I think he was 96. I think he passed at 97. Anyway, my one fucking fear was him signing and the pin getting stuck in the truck bolt hole. What happened to your computer?
It just turned off, and now it just turned back on. What the fuck?
Are you still live?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was my gaming PC.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck was that?
My one fear was that his marker or his pin would get stuck in like one of the bolt holes for the trucks. And it did. But the signature is still there, and it's still flawless, and I don't care. They were like, do you want to pay to have it authenticated? I'm like, no, because I don't need it to be authenticated. I know exactly what happened.
I know who signed it.
So I have a signed,
I would have cried, bro.
I have a signed Iron Man skateboard by the man Stan Lee. And
I would have fucking,
dude, it couldn't have happened at any better time, because after we were walking out, like, mind you, there was like 2 or 3 people in front of us, and only like maybe another 10, 15, 20 people got in behind us. When we were walking out, the lady, the handler, was like, all right, nobody else.
How am I just now finding out about the fact that you've met Stan Lee? Like, I thought you've never told me this, bro.
I swear I did.
You've never told me this.
I met Stan Lee.
What the fuck, bro?
Technically, I met Stan Lee twice.
That makes me so sad. Like,
I'll have to send you a picture of like the picture we got there, and then of the skateboard.
You've never sent me the picture, and you've never showed me the skateboard. I thought we were friends. What the fuck? This man met Stan Lee, and I'm just now finding out. Tubbs, thank you for saving a civilian, brother. I appreciate that love, man. I thought we were friends, dog.
I swear to God, I thought I told you that.
You've never told me that you met Stan Lee, bro. Ever. I would have remembered that.
It's one of like my more like larger, like I've met quite a few like celebs and stuff, and it's one of the ones that like means the most to me, you know?
Oh, dude, that is fucking sick.
Yeah, that's what I took. Oh, so I'm walking around con with this fucking skateboard, and they're like, everyone kept trying to buy it from me. And they're like, before it even got signed, they're like, "Where'd you get that? Did you get that here?" I'm like, "No, I've had."
I was
like,
so jealous.
that had literally just been sitting up on a shelf. Like I'd never even hung it, and then that happened, and I'm like, yes.
I am so jealous, bro.
But yeah, that's probably one of my.
Fuck.
Again, I probably should have started with that one. That's probably one of my most fond
Yeah,
memories
what
of
the
it.
fuck, dude? You held that one for 45 minutes.
Yeah, my bad.
What the fuck, bro?
I don't.
Albert,
I don't think
give
I
me
can
1
show
second. I
anybody
need to get
this.
some water.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
I'll try to show this on stream, but it probably won't show up very well. Yeah, it's not going to. Anyway, you get it. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorites for sure. I've been holding out on him and I forgot. Oh shit. Let's see, what kind of information can we go on here? That article we're going to talk about got a little bit of MCU stuff, nothing crazy. We are going to talk about Kraven, just our kind of our reaction of the trailer we saw. Secret Invasion dropped, so we've got some stuff deal. We've got some rumors, nothing crazy.
Can I just make a quick note?
Yeah.
That when I ordered my groceries yesterday, and I set up the reservation time to go pick up for 9 a.m.
Right.
I got a text that they were ready to go at like 8:45. I was already on my way over there.
Right.
I put in the app. I am here. Spot number 2. 30 seconds later, dude's coming out with my groceries. I was like, damn.
Yeah, we do
I
that.
was like,
we do that shit all the time with like
that's
Sam's
fucking
Club.
crazy.
Like she'll
Like,
put
I'm
in
never
the-
gonna enter a grocery store again, Doug. I never have to enter a grocery store again, bro.
No.
I'm just gonna do that shit.
Yeah.
The fuck?
So yeah, now that I've dropped that bomb on you, I figured we could go over some information. I'll kind of lead off with this one. So James Gunn, I sent you this article. James Gunn has made a statement, I'll call it that, of the laziness of recent superhero movies. I don't know what he was. Oh, he was on Rosenbaum's podcast. And he was asked by Rosenbaum, he said, "Do you think there are too many superhero shows and movies? Because I remember when I did Smallville, there were none." And Gunn said, "Yeah, I think there's too many." But, and then he go on to say, he says, "But I don't think it's too much of a problem of too many. And yes, we're not going to overextend ourselves at DC. We're going to take it very careful with the product and we put out and making sure everything is good as it can possibly be." Gunn bluntly noted that creators have gotten lazy with their superhero stories, commenting on how so many focus on the chances of making a sequel rather than making the first movie something that stands out. Gunn noted, "But I think that's what's happened is people have gotten really lazy with their stories. They've gotten into a place where, oh, it's a superhero, let's make a movie about it. And then they make it, and then they say, oh, let's make a sequel, but because the first one did pretty well, and they aren't thinking about why is the story special. Because if you think about it, everything Gunn puts out has such a good fucking story. He's not worried about, he wants to make that movie very good, and my face looks like it's blown out. But
It really does, man. That shit
Jesus
is bright as fuck. Yeah.
my God.
No, I agree. I agree.
He says, why is this story special? What makes this story stand apart from other stories? What is the story at the heart of it all? Why is this character important? What makes the story different that it fills the need for people in theaters to go see it or on television?
Right.
And I agree 100%. I think they're so worried of making, there we go, good Lord. I think, you know, movie makers in general, not just superhero, they're so worried about, can we make a series? Can we make a trilogy? Can we make more movies? But they're not looking to make that movie good. Or
yeah, they're
great.
not looking to make it special.
Yeah, they're not looking to make it special or great. They just want it to be good so they can continue the franchise.
Right.
I agree with that 100%. I think we've ran into a lot of issues with movies here lately. Again, across the board, not just with Marvel.
Right.
Where they're like, the movie was good, and then like a couple months later they're like, blah 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 2 is coming out in 2025, and we're like,
right,
the first one wasn't even really that good. Like Avatar, the first one, it was all right. I sat and watched it one time. I'll never fucking watch it again. And we made another one, and he's got plans for like 6 more or some shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
is there really a need for, like, how many stories can we tell about a bunch of blue people?
Right.
Like,
I just think that they need to focus solely on what they're producing at that point in time.
Right.
Don't worry about what's coming afterwards or next. It may be a sequel. It may not be. It may be a completely different fucking movie. Worry about what you're putting out there.
You're not wrong in the slightest, because I mean, going based off of Marvel alone, we could look at a couple different examples. I mean, the Eternals movie was garbage.
Yeah.
Nobody liked it.
Nope.
And the people that did like it don't know dick.
And then they announced, Eternals 2. I'm like,
yeah, Eternals 2 is coming out.
The first one was fucking terrible. You might as well call it a completely different name.
Right.
Because the first one bombed so bad. Like,
but like the same thing with Black Widow. First off, nobody asked for the Black Widow film.
Right.
Second off, the movie was so fucking bad that, like, y'all didn't put thought into the character that has been in the franchise since fucking Captain America.
Yep.
You know, like, and then you have all this other shit, like, you know, like Eternals, fucking that shit. What other? Aquaman. Pretty much every DCU movie, DCEU, Justice League, extremely rushed, wasn't what anybody wanted. You know, we had no backstory. I mean, everybody knows who the characters are, but we had no backstory to we had no backstory to this version of the characters.
Yeah.
You know, like the Aquaman movie was garbage. Fucking the first Suicide Squad movie was garbage. Morbius, garbage. The Venom movies, hate to say it,
not that good.
They're fun, but they're not really that fucking good. Everybody thinks those movies are incredible, but they're not that good.
The bantering we have between Eddie and Venom, like, yeah, it's cool, and like at least
it's comic accurate.
And to be honest, like the visual effects in that movie are actually decent compared to what some of the shit we've had. Story wise,
it's trash.
Pretty fucking bad.
And then you had the second one, Let There Be Carnage, and that movie was so fucking rushed.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and you can tell every step of the way that they were like, let's just get it out.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And let's try to set up for a third one. Like, again, I agree with Gunn. Like, they're so worried about making a series, making a sequel, making another movie with the fucking same title that they're not concentrated on what they're putting out there right now. They're worried about quantity and not
Yeah.
quality. I mean, it's
And even the same shit happened with the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. The first
Yep.
two, they were very well thought out. They
Yep.
were very well taken care of.
Yep.
And then the third one, they were like, well, let's give the fans everything that they
Yep.
want and not actually focus on the story of Tom Holland.
now
So, like,
that movie,
what about the
you know,
people that want to see that?
do I think that Aunt May needed to die? Like, it's never explained what happened to the Ben, to his Ben, right? It's just,
Right.
he's just not there. I don't think he's even
Right.
mentioned throughout the entire 3. So he has to see some sort of, you know, trials
Tragedy.
and tribulation and tragedy
Yeah.
to turn him into, you know, the true tenfold Spider-Man that we, you know,
Right.
have with, again, Toby and Garfield. So yes, I think she did, but there was a lot of like, oh well, if we bring this in, we'll bring that in, we'll make it to where, oh, here's this multiverse,
Right.
instead of just making a good movie. Was it okay? Yeah, I watched it, I enjoyed
So,
it, but it
the-
was just, you again, it was one of those where you could tell everything was super fucking rushed
Right.
to just get everything they possibly could in one movie.
So it was a really good movie, but like the one thing that really upset me about No Way Home, it was, so Tobey Maguire's character had his redemption arc where he and
Doc.
Doc Ock, they squashed their beef, they're cool with each other now.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Garfield has his redemption by saving Zendaya
Well, that and
from falling
Electro.
off the building. And the whole thing with
Yep.
Electro where they rekindle everything.
Yep.
My question is, why didn't we have any new Tom Holland Spider-Man villains? Why didn't
Mhm.
we have the return of either Mysterio or Vulture?
Yeah.
And why did we not have any kind of redemption arc for Tom Holland? You know, why did we have Tobey Maguire's villain kill MCU Aunt May?
Yeah.
You know, like, why didn't
Um,
we have Michael Keaton come in as Vulture and fucking kill Aunt May? Why didn't we have Jake Gyllenhaal come back as
Yeah.
Mysterio and kill Aunt May?
Yeah,
You know,
and
so that kind
I
of
know
sucked.
Spider-Man 4 is supposed to be like pre-production or some shit going on. Maybe we'll see that. I
Right.
don't know because obviously nothing's been said. Like storyline wise, all we know, maybe, and it's a big maybe because I'm only just guessing. He's going to be in college, obviously, and maybe MJ starts to like get her memory back, something stupid like that, you know.
I did hear that.
Yeah.
I did hear that she's gonna remember, like, she's gonna start to remember who he is.
Right.
So is Ned.
Well, no,
which
so
leads me.
I think
why?
I think what's gonna happen if I had to like put a like fan theory out there, right? So we're gonna see Tom Holland's Peter Parker in college doing his thing. MJ's gonna start to remember what happened and what's going on. I think Ned is gonna not remember, or he's gonna start to remember something bad, and that's where
Right.
because most people don't know, Ned becomes
Hobgoblin.
So Ned starts to remember bad things about Spider-Man and Peter Parker and becomes Hobgoblin. I think there'd be a fucking sick twist to it.
I would love
But
that.
That's a, you know, again, that's a fan cast type thing.
So I really want Gwen to be
Yeah.
introduced.
I think I do too.
So me personally, and I've told you this before, I prefer Gwen Stacy over Mary Jane Watson any day of the week, all day. I think that Gwen is a better suited character for Peter. Now, obviously, we know in the comic books, Peter and MJ, they end up getting married. They have
Peter and
children.
MJ across the world. I mean, it's just, it always
it's
is.
Peter and MJ.
I would like to see a new iteration of Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I feel like, so it's kind of the whole thing with like with Batman and the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
It's Peter and MJ.
Yeah.
You know, it's never Peter and
has
Gwen.
been. Yeah, as long as it's, you know, Peter Parker, not, you know, Miles Morales.
Right.
But, you know, because that's just what it was. That's what it always has been. Like, now, obviously, Peter Parker has had his certain love interests throughout the years, but end all be all, it's MJ. Like, you know,
Right.
that's why I thought it was weird that they were bringing this so-called MJ character into Tom
yeah, because
Holland's
it's not
world.
even Mary Jane.
No,
It's Michelle Jones.
Michelle Jones, yeah, which I feel is like a really weird, like, I don't know what they were trying to do there. Maybe we'll see, like, I mean, it would only make sense for him to find Gwen Stacy in this
Right.
next, you know, iteration that we see.
So I feel like there are so many good things about Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I mean, obviously he's the most comic accurate. Even Stan Lee said that Tom Holland is the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He is the Spider-Man that he dreamt of. He is the Spider-Man that he created.
Yeah.
A couple things that stand out to me that I don't like is the fact that, one, Ned Leeds pretty much replaces Harry Osborn's existence.
Yep.
Harry Osborn and Peter have been best
Has not
friends since they
existed.
were children,
Yeah.
and we have no inkling of Harry Osborn in the slightest.
We don't have
Number two,
we don't have an
Gwen
inkling
Stacy.
of Norman.
Yeah,
in-
we don't even
Tom
have an inkling
Holland's-
of Norman Osborn.
We don't have an inkling of Osborn in Tom Holland's universe.
Yeah,
Like, there hasn't
Because
been
they-
anything ever said.
right.
We've had
And-
a bunch of Spider-Man villains that, you know, fit the bill and are, you know, you're waiting there like, where's Norman? You know,
Right, exactly.
Didn't we had, no, that was, what was, hold on, I'm trying to get my brain straight here. There was an end scene that might have been Andrews where we saw Norman. I could be making that up.
Oh, in one of Andrew Garfield's
Yeah,
movies.
isn't there a guy, he's walking past a bunch
Yeah.
of shit? That's Andrews. Yeah. So yeah, we haven't seen any resemblance of Norman in this version.
Yeah, it's for as good as those movies are, it's weird that we have no existence of Norman Osborn or Harry Osborn.
Nope.
It's kind of crazy.
So, yeah. I don't know.
Hopefully we'll get him in the fourth one, or
Yeah.
at least the fucking mention of his existence, because you can't have Spider-Man without Norman
I
Osborn.
mean, yeah, it's kind of.
He's a huge part in the fucking character's evolution.
Yeah. Speaking of Spider-Man, we'll kind of move on with this a little bit. Trailer for Craven.
Dude, I am very excited.
I think it's gonna be good.
So I remember we were pretty pissed off about hearing the fact that he's an animal lover.
And this trailer, no, he's not.
Yeah, no,
No.
this trailer
hunter.
fucking
He is a hunter.
he's an animal lover in the fact that he's using the animals to kill other humans.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why he's an animal lover. It's not the fact that he doesn't want to hurt animals. It's
Yeah.
the fact that he is an animal.
Yeah.
You know, and like I love the fact that we're getting like this savage Craven the Hunter, because that's who he is, dude. He is he is savage
He's
as
a beast,
fuck.
man. Yeah, like
He is savage as fuck
I
in the
think
comic books.
they're doing. I think it's gonna be real good. I like what I saw from the trailer. I think it's gonna be great.
See, when I saw him kill a guy with a bear trap, I was like
Yeah.
literally swung a bear trap onto dude's head and it fucking clamped on him like it was a scene out of Saw, dude.
Yeah, I want to watch
And I
the
was like,
trailer again.
holy fucking shit. Like I was blown the fuck away.
So bright.
Now, yeah, I actually have the trailer pulled up as well. So maybe you want to do like a breakdown of the trailer?
Yeah, we can do that. Let me just pull it up here. We'll just do a
Yeah.
little breakdown of what we see. We'll
Yeah, we could do a little breakdown of the trailer. So y'all, we're gonna do our very first official trailer breakdown. Now, we have watched trailers on the podcast before, but we're gonna do an actual trailer breakdown here. Just things that we found cool, things that we think are weird, things that we are excited for. I'll tell you right now, I am very excited for the fact that we're gonna get to see some inkling of Craven's brother
Yeah.
The Chameleon.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, bro.
I'm on YouTube on the official Red Band trailer.
Yeah, same.
And I paused it right as we're looking at London.
Right as we're looking at London.
Yeah. Like it shows like him looking at the spiders above, it goes black, and then it kind of clips to London.
Okay.
See where I'm at?
Yeah. You see there's like a Ferris wheel.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So just let me
like
know when
7
you're ready.
seconds in.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I am going to start it in 3, 2, 1.
All right. So first off, like the fact that Kraven is a monster, like, and showing him run like this, chasing that van is just absolutely, I think it's awesome.
It's insane, dude.
We are predators.
Here, pause real quick.
Okay.
Can I just say that this is like, how many father figures has fucking Kurt Russell played in the MCU?
Russell Crowe.
Or Russell Crowe.
Dude, so many.
He was the father of Hercules as Zeus. He was the father of who else? He was the father of somebody else. Who am I thinking of?
I can't remember.
This is like the third like father he's played for the
That
MCU.
he's played.
Yeah. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Boys, your mother is dead.
Your mother.
mother is dead.
Died because you sent her away. She was weak, sick in her mind. You know my business.
So just hearing that, you could see how savage the father is
Oh
too.
yeah. Yeah.
By saying that she was weak,
Yeah.
If you shoot,
and that's why she's dead.
Yeah.
I want to pause here after this moment.
After the shoot or as it's going?
After the blood drips
Okay.
into him.
Now, I'm not really familiar with Kraven, so I don't know like how exactly he gets his powers, but
What happened that day?
So yeah, like right here, bro. Like this is where you see the turn.
yeah.
Just the moment that blood the animal's blood enters his bloodstream, you see you see it molding to his blood, and then you see his eyes turn cat color, like yellow, and
Yeah.
then they get wider. Like
And that's part of his abilities too. Like
yeah.
Kraven is not just a like random hunter dude. Like he's got powers
Right.
and abilities as well.
I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that's close to how he becomes Kraven. I'm gonna real quick do a deep dive on this just before we restart.
If anything, 'cause
How-
am I Marvel this week? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, because you're DC. I'll do Kraven as a learn.
Okay, so no, his was a little in the comic books. It's through special herbal potions he periodically ingests.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So a little bit of a change as usual, but at least it's not crazy. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, let me put these bangles on that my family has owned for 800 years and I can get powers now.
Here we go. I'm gonna look at this real fucking quick. Okay, so yeah, that's a change with the blood dripping into him. That's a change.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, moving on.
Go.
I clicked it.
Death in the face, and for the first time, I saw my true self.
Dude, okay, real quick. Back up, like, as you see the eyes in the dark.
Yeah, when he's
Oh, it is
walking out.
so menacing. Like,
Saw my true self.
that's such a good transition.
It really is. This is one thing that I have an issue with, and I don't know how you feel, but I think you know what I'm about to say. The fact that he does not have a Russian accent kind of makes me a little like it's not a deal breaker for me by any stretch of the imagination. But
No, and I think it's like you can tell like when he's a kid too. Like in the very beginning of this trailer, when he's a kid, he doesn't have a Russian accent there either.
right, so I'm thinking that of the character, his father is full bore Russian, but his mother might be an
English,
American
yeah.
citizen. Like she
Yeah.
might be English or American, and he's got the Russian mentality of his father, but he's got the American accent and I guess personality of his mother. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be explained.
I mean, this homie's going to down on these dudes with a fucking animal horn. Like,
Yeah.
he's so fucking violent. And then he just bites this dude's nose off.
Yeah.
Like, the fucking animal horn is in dude's neck and he's just spurting. And then he just bites the dude's nose off.
Why do you hunt?
But like, so like, dude, he's a fucking savage. The fact that he's using animals. I don't know how far you are into the trailer.
He just smashed a dude's face with a bear cage.
The bear trap.
Yeah, bear trap.
Okay, yeah.
You are exactly like our
And like that right there, I'm gonna pause real quick. That right there, just seeing him jump out of a tree and smash dude in the head with a fucking machete, and then spin around the tree and bash a dude with a fucking bear trap.
Yeah.
That is insane.
It's vicious. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, we want gruesome movies, man. I don't want
Yes.
fluffy fucking unicorn poop fucking Hulk. I want this. Like, I want these
Right.
vicious characters to be vicious.
Like, dude, he throws a spear at dude in a fucking helicopter and launches him out.
Yeah.
And now he's in the office with a big ass crossbow.
Yeah. And he's got the vest on. Like, not in that,
Yeah.
but he goes to throw that vest on that he's always wearing.
And he just shoots. He launches dude into the wall with a crossbow bolt.
You're a goddamn lunatic.
Oh, you just figured that out now.
Fucking savage, bro.
It looks so good.
Is an animal.
It really does.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
Dude, this
And
movie.
then Rhino, like
Yeah.
this is the first time we're gonna see like a non-stupid mechanical rhino.
Yeah.
On
So like,
film.
I'm excited all around for this movie, dude. I was much like you. I was skeptic because of
It's
you
a
know,
weird character to bring in. Well, not weird, but just like, you know, Craven
it's a tough
is
character to correct.
Yeah. So I like it though.
And at the same time, it's think about all the times that Sony has failed us with these Spider-Man renditions.
Mhm.
Morbius was god awful, and it wasn't even Jared Leto's fault.
Yeah.
Jared Leto did a fantastic job as Morbius, but the
Yeah.
movie was fucking
It was
terrible.
just the writing and the story. It's just like
Yeah.
it's just all over the place. So
And Morbius, much like Craven, is a very violent, very badass character, very savage, animalistic character. And the way that they did him was just heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
It was painful to watch because Morbius is such a dope character, man. I
Oh, yeah.
love that character. And to see him get the shitty treatment that he did and having it not be Jared Leto's fault, like that fucking sucked. But it looks like they're doing the right thing this time with
It looks
Craven. What
good.
I'm really hoping that we do get to see his brother as the Chameleon, like officially as the Chameleon, because I've always pushed for that character to be introduced in like live action in the media. I love the character of the Chameleon. It's just I understand he's a very difficult character to portray because he's a master of disguise, you know, like so I can see how that would be a fucking horrible, or not horrible, but horribly difficult thing to pull off, you know.
Right.
But I don't know, we'll see. I am very excited to see Rhino though.
I think it's cool.
I like the fact that it's like a serum that turns him into an actual like rhino.
Well, I think what it is the serum is what keeps him from turning. Like, because you kind of
Okay.
see him unplug it, and then he starts to morph
Oh,
into
yeah,
the
yeah,
rhino. So
yeah.
I think whatever he's got, like that, it's kind of like a dialysis type thing. Whatever
Right.
he's got running through him is what's keeping him human versus going into rhino form. I think it's gonna be sick.
I'm very excited to see what we get out of this. I'm very, very excited to see this. like I said, we were on the fence, but now seeing the trailer,
Yeah.
my whole
lo- I-
outlook on this movie
I
has
saw that
changed.
trailer and I'm like, ooh, this looks good.
Dude, it really does. I'm just hoping that we stay as savage as this. But the one thing that we need to start doing, man, is like we gotta stop making these fucking spin-offs of these villains and start introducing them to Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Right, because if Tom Holland is the Spider-Man we're moving forward with, they need to just dive in, man. Like I get making a spin-off to introduce a new character, especially a character like Kraven. Kraven is essentially on the same level as Green Goblin, as far as like Spider-Man villains go. You know, like obviously Green Goblin is probably, I mean, that's the Batman to Joker, right? Spider-Man to Green Goblin. It's the one you always hear about, someone you know about the most. He has multiple villains throughout, but Kraven is one of those who has always been around and has always been, I mean, goes toe to toe with Spider-Man all the time. But yeah, I'm ready to see these, not just you know, the typical, again, the same villains, the same characters we've been seeing. Like I'm ready to see, you know, Spider-Man versus Rhino and Spider-Man, because again, we've got these new characters that just look amazing, and these movies that are just coming out that are really good. I want to see them out there. So
yeah, I mean, they gotta do something.
Yeah,
they gotta do something. I mean, yeah, I'm cool with the 100%. I'm cool with the spin-offs, like you said, to introduce the character, but like we gotta start throwing these characters into Spidey's world.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 100%.
Because then it doesn't make fucking sense.
Yeah,
we make
know
Morbius.
They exist, and we know they exist, and we keep making like Easter eggs and shit that's like, oh, it's in the same universe. Fucking Vulture. Vulture sees Morbius. What hell? That's right there. That's the Tom Holland fucking universe. Kraven, we'll see, you know, the way this movie goes. They kind of like tease it because he sees the spiders coming down from the trees. You know, he has tracked Spider-Man for many years. If we see anything that like points to him being like, I don't want Spider-Man, you know, we need to see it. You know, I actually just saw an article as I was scrolling through, because there's another couple things we can touch on. Let me find it real quick.
It's definitely something we have to touch on, like with these characters.
Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson teases upcoming Spider-Man v. Kraven battle. Apparently he put out a Twitter post or something, and said, oh yeah, he posted like Aaron Taylor Thomas posted the trailer on his like Instagram or something and titled it Spider-Man, I'm coming for you. So he knows we need to see it, y'all. I want to see it, so we'll see.
It's gonna be a damn good movie, and if it isn't, so. I'm gonna be pissed. I will never watch another Sony movie if it's bad.
Dude, it's just been one after another. It's been fucking terrible.
Yeah. It's been disappointing.
Yeah. Last little thing we really have for Marvel. We don't have much DC because with the whole revamp and everything, there's really no DC news. These are just, you know, kind of the hot topics for Marvel going forward. Secret Invasion drops.
Yes.
And my God, spoilers if you're watching. Spoiler alert, because we will talk about it. We have both seen it, and holy shit, I did not expect that.
No, me neither.
So obviously, you know, Secret Invasion. So there's two things I kind of want to touch on. One I sent to you. The one is actually have to do with the show. You know, the show, I think it's only 6 episodes. It's not very long at all. So Secret Invasion, for those who don't know, just a quick little thing. Secret Invasion has to do with Skrulls who have infiltrated Earth. Basically, they try to take over the world. Really all it is. Now you're thinking, oh, I thought the Skrulls were good. They went up. Yeah, well, there's some good ones, some bad ones. Gravik is a bad scroll who, you know, wants.
He's a naughty one.
Yeah, he's not a good one. He wants the world to be their own so they don't have to hide, because their world is gone, basically. So they're trying to turn Earth into their own world. So this is supposed to be that. Now, the one thing I want to touch on, because I'm not too thrilled. Apparently, this is one of my favorite storylines. But apparently the director, producer, one of the two, I don't remember what it was on that article I sent you, was specifically told not to read the comics when it came
Which
to
is mind blowing.
when it came to Secret Invasion, because this show has nothing to do with it, is exactly what they said.
Why?
Scroll back here.
Like,
Let me
why?
find it.
I saw that as well. I saw that multiple times throughout the week, that one of the writers was told not to touch any of the comic books because it has nothing to do with the comics. So, like,
and this
let
was
me ask you this.
This was a direct
why the
quote.
fuck did you make the
Yeah,
show?
well, then why'd you make the show? This was a direct quote from Ali Salem. He is the one he's the director of Secret Invasion. When I took the job, the first thing Marvel told me was, do not read the comics. They have nothing to do with the series. The series was more born out of an electric relationship that was created between Nick Fury and Talos.
Yeah.
So, having said that, I was excited. But how do you, this is Civil War all over again.
Yeah.
How do you have a series called Secret Invasion, which is one of the biggest fucking
one of the most important comic book storylines
ones when it comes to MCU, and you don't let your director or writers read the source material?
Yeah.
That really, as soon as I read that, because I'll be honest, I watched the first episode and I was like, huh, this is weird. You know,
it was definitely weird. It wasn't a bad episode.
It wasn't bad. I saw a
I
lot
thought
of it
it was
coming.
good. Yeah.
Like the agent at the very beginning, like I knew that wasn't him. The way he was acting, like it wasn't him.
Right.
And then, you know, he finally sees his daughter for the first time in however long. Obviously, she didn't know her mother was dead, and now she's mad again. And then, you know, we see them. She's like, I'll mark the bags, and they see the bags, and then the bags don't have the bombs, and you're like, uh-oh.
So she betrayed him again.
She betrayed her dad, yeah, and Fury and all them. And then the fucking,
I gotta say, man, I love Emilia Clarke.
Oh yeah.
She is gorgeous.
And then, you know, the episode rounds out with a whole bullet to the gut, and I don't mean metaphorically. I mean Colby Smulders, aka Hill, kind of turns around while they're in the hustle bustle of everything, sees Nick, and which it's actually not Nick, it's Gravik.
It was Gravik.
Fucking shoots her in the gut, and she dies there in the street. Like, wow, that was a choice.
Yeah.
I mean, Hill's been around.
I was
since...
not expecting that.
No.
I was not ready for her to actually die. I thought she was gonna get like severely injured, and then,
or I thought that maybe she was a Skrull. I thought maybe she would like
that too.
You know, and I'm like, oh no, that's real blood. That's red. That's not green or blue, whatever the color their blood is.
Like, I was kind of surprised that they pulled that trigger with her.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think she was gonna die.
And it's so like fucked that Gravik took Nick's form to do it, because then she like, and then she even kind of says it, like when he's there, she was like, it was you, and he was like, it wasn't me, you know. So her last thoughts, her last dying, you know, thought
was that Nick was a Skrull.
Yeah.
And fucking killed her.
So fucked. But yeah, I was excited for the show.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna watch it.
I am. I'm gonna see how they turn it. Another thing I wanted to do was kind of like go back and reread like the actual, not all of the Secret Invasion series because it's a fucking long. But like kind of hit on the high points and see like what exactly, you know, what were they trying to do when they wrote this series? Because if it's just a fucking let's stop Gravik from taking over the world. That's fucking shit. Like that's that's shit compared to what the Secret Invasion is.
It is really shitty that like this is Civil War. It is Civil War all over again, man.
If that's what it is, if you're calling this Secret Invasion, right? And then you tell your director not to read the source material and then say that it has nothing to do with it, this is Civil War all over.
Yeah.
Like,
don't get us wrong, Civil War was good, but it wasn't Civil War.
But it wasn't Civil War. Did we have aspects of it? Yeah, of course. Scobie Accords, all that, but this Secret Invasion storyline is a phenomenal storyline. So to just flat out don't read the source, what the fuck? So
it's like that also scares me for the future. Like
Secret Wars,
what is Kang Dynasty gonna be?
Kang Dynasty,
what is Secret Wars gonna be? What is Armor Wars gonna be?
These are all straight, like these are all titles straight from the comics, so you can't pull those and be like, nope, it has nothing to do with the comics. Then call it something else and I won't be mad. Because
like here's the thing, they were, relatively speaking, due to the fact of not having all the characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe yet, they were pretty faithful to Infinity War and Endgame. They were relatively faithful. Now obviously like we said with Guardians 3 multiple times before it even came out, we got Adam Warlock a little way too late. Yeah, it was too little too late. He served absolutely zero purpose in Guardians 3 aside from existing,
truthfully, and hurting Rocket.
And trying to kill Rocket.
You literally could have sent anyone else in there to hurt Rocket and it would have been the exact same movie.
Right. Also, it was just like the fact that we didn't see any of the Soul World, which was a huge part of Infinity War.
Yeah.
Or Infinity Gauntlet, where Thanos was retrieving all the stones. We don't see how of the X-Men, specifically Cyclops with a unbreakable glass box around his head, him to death. We don't see his relation, Lady Death. We don't see his relationship. But aside from that, it was very, very faithful to the comic books, where he was on a quest to get the stones. The Avengers and everybody's trying to stop him, and then it turns into an entire thing trying to stop him and replace the stones where they belong. It was accurate enough. But Civil War, not even close to the source material. Aside from the Sokovia Accords and Cap being against it, Iron Man being with it, and then the respective teams that they sided with, we didn't see at all how Spider-Man switches sides to Captain America's team. We didn't see how the Punisher saves Captain America before he's dead or before he dies.
You don't see Punisher save Spidey. Spidey gets the shit fucking kicked out of him, and like he takes him to Cap and like, this is what you did, this is your fault. Like, I mean, it's just, we
don't see any of this shit. Still a very good movie, but I mean, comic book readers were very critical about the movies. They were good, but nothing like the source material. And to hear that you're not going to read the source material for a even more important story than Civil War, you're not going to read the source material that changes the entire Marvel universe.
Yep.
You were told not to read that source material for that, and you're just going off the fly with a completely different story. That's fucked.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
That is fucked. So, I mean, yeah, I was very excited for this. We were both very excited for this when it was announced.
Yeah.
I remember we watched the first trailer on a podcast episode, and we were so fucking excited.
Yeah.
And now it's like, The excitement's still there, but like,
it's slowly changing from
Yeah.
excitement to just the same feeling.
Disappointment.
Yeah. Oh shit. The same feeling as so again, Civil War. It's got Civil War
Yeah.
written all over it.
I
So,
mean, overall, not a bad first episode. It was good for what it was. I will watch the entire season just to get the
Oh, yeah.
story, so we can
mean,
go
it's-
into the future.
yeah, it's already been stated that not all episodes will even be an hour.
Yeah.
So they're going to be pretty short. This is supposed to lead up to Secret Wars,
Yes.
and then Marvel's comes out. Well, Secret Wars doesn't come out yet. Secret Wars is a couple years out, but
Yes.
Secret Invasion is supposed to lead into Secret Wars, but we've got a few projects in between the two.
We've got a dickload of projects in between the two. We've got like 3 years worth of projects in between the two.
Yeah, because I think
'Cause-
Secret Wars isn't supposed to be till 26,
Yeah.
I think.
Secret Wars is 26, Kang Dynasty is 25.
Yep.
They were supposed to release in the same year within 2 months of each other when they were first announced. But then Marvel said that they were going to delay everything so that way they could focus on things a little more heavily as opposed to rushing them.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, for those of you that are watching this broadcast, something you got to understand about Doug and I is we are totally open to these movies and these TV shows putting original spins on the series. We're not opposed to that. You know, we are totally cool with seeing completely original things, completely original directions. We're fine with that. But when you
But as a base, it's got to be the
Right.
same, man.
as a base, you have to follow some form of the story. You know, obviously, Elektra is not in the MCU just yet. So we can't obviously have her being revealed to be a Skrull in Secret Wars or Secret Invasion, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But we could do something. You know, we like, and I believe that's what they did with Martin Freeman's Everett Ross. I believe he was the replacement for Elektra, which I'm cool with. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But then to go an entire hour that very loosely follows the events of the actual story, it's like,
Weird. It's a weird choice.
yeah.
I don't know. We'll just have to watch it and see what they do. Like I said, I think I'm gonna go back and like reread the Secret Invasion kind of storyline and just kind of get a fresh up on it and be like, yep, this is exactly nothing like what I was expecting.
Yeah, like
So-
compare and contrast and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Sidebar. Super excited to eat my prepped meals.
I'm
actually-
starving.
I took a nibble of that chicken after I was all done cooking everything. It was very good. And like I told you before we started, that was my very first time diving into the chicken game.
I'm a
So-
big fan of like chicken prepped foods. I think I like
Yeah.
chicken and steak are right there with me. Like,
Did
chicken,
I
like,
send you the picture of the meals?
I don't think so.
Take a look at it and tell me what you think.
Gotcha.
Like real quick.
I don't even know where the fuck my phone went. Oh, there it is.
It's fried rice with soy sauce alternative because soy sauce is stupid fucking salty. So I used aminos. It's fried rice with mixed veggies. I just threw them in the fryer for like 4 minutes. And then the chicken has paprika, onion powder, and garlic powder.
That looks good.
Man, I am so fucking excited.
All right. Well, Bruns is over there making us all hungry.
Sorry, folks. I was just excited about having an air fryer. Now that thing is magical. If you don't have one, get one.
We've got what we call what do we call it? Knowledge? The knowledge base? Informative? I don't think we really have
educational.
a name. Education.
Educational. We've got the educational, and then we have the 1v1 matchup.
So tonight, I figured I'd give you a little heads up on who Craven is. You know, obviously he's going to be a character that we see here coming up. So yeah, we're just going to read a little bit on Craven from the Marvel book. Brones is going to pick a character from the DC book. And then, you know, we may ask you guys for a page number and we'll do our 1v1.
I don't know who to choose because we didn't really talk much about DC.
Yeah, it's because there's nothing going on.
All right. So what I'm going to do.
I can tell you what page I'm on if you want to pick something from that page.
I'm just going to hold the pages up and see what happens. It didn't do anything.
I was like, I don't think it's gonna work.
All right, I'm gonna flip through.
Stop. I think we both said stop at the same time.
All right. So, all right, we're gonna go with. We landed on a obviously 2 pages. We're gonna go with Gorilla Grodd.
Gotcha.
I love Gorilla Grodd. Such an underrated character. Hey, so do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I'll go for it.
All right.
So we've got Craven. Real name is Sergei Kravenov. His occupation is professional game hunter and mercenary. His base is mobile. He is 6 foot, 235 pounds. Brown eyes, black hair. First appearance was Amazing Spider-Man number 15, August 1964. So he's been around a minute. Powers include, powers include enhanced strength, speed, and agility. He's an expert tracker and skilled hand-to-hand fighter. Let's see. After his Russian aristocrat parents died while he was a child, Sergei joined the crew of an African safari, learning to track and kill big game. A mystical serum augmented his strength and speed, and Sergei became the world's greatest hunter. After angelicizing, I don't know. His name to Craven, he took up a challenge from his half-brother, the Chameleon, to hunt the most dangerous game of all, Spider-Man. After numerous defeats, both on his own and one of the Sinister Six, Craven tranquilized Spider-Man and buried him alive. Craven then assumed the hero's identity in a bid to prove himself a better crime fighter. In despair at his failure, Craven shot himself. Craven's son Vladimir briefly served as the Grim Hunter until Kane, if you don't know who Kane is another Spider-Man.
Yes.
Killed him. Kane is a clone. Kane killed him, and his other son Aloysia became the second. Aloysia. A-L-Y-O.
What the fuck?
I could have said
Aloysia.
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 Became the second Craven the Hunter. Craven's young daughter Anna also took up the Craven mantle. His wife Sasha returned to rally the family and resurrect Craven by sacrificing Spider-Man. Oh shit. Kane took Spider-Man's place, however, disturbing the ritual. Let's see. Craven later killed Sasha and also Vladimir, who returned as a half lion. Interesting. To see, despite his modest superpowered abilities, Craven's combat skills allowed him to hold his own against multiple meta-human opponents. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's it. That was a short one
All
for
right.
Craven, really.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. All right, folks. So on the DC side of things, we've got Gorilla Grodd. And for those of you that don't know who Gorilla Grodd is, he's a gorilla.
And he's a Grodd.
His name is Grodd. So, we're going to go over this character. He's a badass character, man. Like I said, very underrated. His debut was The Flash Volume 1, number 106, April to May 1959. So he's been around for quite a while as well. His base of operations is Gorilla City. He is 6'6", 600 pounds, gray eyes, black hair. Obviously, he's a gorilla.
He's a monkey.
His powers and abilities. He is violent and very strong. Can control others with his mind. He's got genius level intellect. He possesses psionic abilities to move objects remotely. His allies are the Crime Syndicate, Raijin or Raijin, the Negative Flash, Multiplex, and Poison Ivy. His enemies, the Flash, Rogues. That would be the Rogues gallery of the Flash. Solovar, and Damage. His affiliations are Legion of Doom and Legion of Zoom. Let's give a little bit of insight about the character. Gorilla Grodd is a violent and deadly supervillain. Since first meeting the Flash, Barry Allen, in Gorilla City, Grodd has had a deep hatred of the hero and believes he could gain the Flash's powers if he eats his brains, which we actually got to see that in the TV show. He didn't eat his brains,
No,
but he did get
he
his
absorbed it.
abilities,
Yeah.
and it was fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Grodd is not only fast and immensely strong, but also has amazing psionic abilities from contact with the Speed Force. When the Speed Force struck a tribe of gorillas deep in the jungle of Africa, it sped up their intelligence and evolution. They then created their own kingdom, Gorilla City, and worshipped the Light, their own name for the Speed Force. Grodd became their king moments before the Flash first arrived. He had his own father killed, and he ate his brains, believing they would give him his father's abilities. The Flash escaped Gorilla City and defeated Grodd, who was buried under the rubble of an ancient temple during their fight. He was dug out by General Silverback, and soon reclaimed his control over Gorilla City, leading the gorillas on the invasion of the Flash's home of Central City. Grodd nearly killed the Flash, who was only saved when the gorilla known as Solovar risked his own life to rescue the hero. That was also in the TV show. The Flash later took Grodd into the Speed Force and defeated him in battle, also in the show, leaving Grodd trapped there. Grodd was freed by the Crime Syndicate and found he now had increased psionic abilities. Arriving in Central City just as his fellow gorillas were making peace with the humans, Grodd took over, killing anyone, gorilla or human, who opposed him. With the Flash missing, seemingly killed by the Crime Syndicate, Gorilla Grodd renamed Central City as Gorilla City. When the Rogues refused to join the Syndicate's new order, the Syndicate sent Grodd and other supervillains to kill them. But the Rogues won the day, however, with Mirror Master trapping Grodd and his fellow villains in the Mirror Dimension. Later, Grodd learned that he was dying from a rare degenerative disease. He used his powers to team up with the villainous Black Hole organization in an attempt to save his own life by draining Central City of its speed. The Flash cured Grodd's condition, and the Gorilla City Guard arrived to take him away as their captive. However, Grodd almost immediately partnered with Poison Ivy in order to destroy the world of man, only to be stopped this time by the rampaging behemoth known as Damage. Grodd continued to find nefarious partners in crime, harnessing the Still Force and teaming with Lex Luthor to help form the Legion of Doom and free the evil mother of the multiverse, Perpetua.
Okay.
That's really all there is. There's like a couple little tidbits and shit, but really nothing crazy.
Right.
I'm just trying to see if there's anything like really worth mentioning.
I'm gonna pull up a random number generator.
No, there's really nothing worth mentioning. I don't know about you, but I fucking love Gorilla Grodd. An awesome character. I think he's very underutilized, and I absolutely loved the fact that they gave him so much love and attention in the TV show.
Yeah, they really did.
Like, just about every season, we got to see a little piece of Grodd. And can I be honest about something? It was an absolute guilty pleasure watching Grodd and King Shark rain hell on Central City against each other. That was absolutely amazing to watch those two fight it out all throughout the city. I fucking loved it. It was amazing, dude. And King Shark was badass too. King Shark was badass in that movie or in that show. Although they underutilized him, but then we got to see him in James Gunn's Suicide Squad, so I was happy.
Right. Get a number generator up here, but that one was terrible. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do a number generator and pick a page.
All right.
150.
150. Why does that number sound familiar?
I don't know, because we've done this a few times. I can't do that one. All right, I'll go one down or one up and see if I can find something.
All right. All right, we have never hit 150 because both of these characters are badass.
Well, I got to go one down because one up is another group. God damn it.
Another one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite Batman villains. I'll let you take a guess on who it is. I think I've mentioned it before.
Oh, I remember this guy. Yeah, this guy's badass. I mean, we've talked about so many, so I don't know.
Just take a guess. I'll give you two guesses.
You said he's a Batman villain?
Yeah, Batman villain. He's one of my favorite villains. And he's not, I'll give you a hint. He's not one of the typical ones. So it's not Riddler, Joker, Two-Face. It's not Zaz, obviously, because we're on page 150. But it's
like
not.
Hush?
Yes.
I
love Hush, dude.
It's got to be like, wait a minute, I'm on G, so it's got to be like right in that same area. It's like the only one I can think of is Hush.
Love Hush,
is
man.
Wicked, man.
He's
we'll
so
have to do him
badass.
sometime because Hush is cool.
I fucking love Hush, man. All right. Do you want me to read mine first?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, my character for this 1v1 matchup is Hush. He debuted in Batman Volume 1, number 609, January of 2003. Real name Thomas Elliott. He's from Gotham City. He's 6'3". I'm taller than that pussy. He's 220 pounds. He's got blue eyes and red hair. His powers and abilities. Tactical genius. He is an expert surgeon, skilled marksman with a pistol, and he uses holograms to create decoys. His allies are Jason Bard and the Architect, and his his enemies are Batman, the entirety of the Bat family, and Spoiler. When Tommy Elliott was a child, he idolized his best friend Bruce Wayne. He went so far as to kill his own parents so he would be an orphan just like Bruce. However, Bruce finally rejected Tommy when his friend began to impersonate him. Tommy became obsessed with destroying his former idol. Swathing his head in bandages, he became a sworn nemesis to both Bruce Wayne and Batman as the criminal surgeon and criminal master Hush. After launching a campaign of bloody attacks on Batman and his loved ones, Hush vanished, but later resurfaced with a new plan to rip his life apart. Batman's life apart.
Mm-hmm.
He framed Commissioner Gordon for murder, injected Alfred with fear toxin and triggered riots and terrorist attacks all over Gotham City. His master stroke was destroying Arkham Asylum, which led to a mass breakout of inmates. Hush then blew up Batman's secret weapons cache under the city, causing the seizure of Wayne Industry assets by authorities. Batman finally captured Hush, but when an alliance of villains attacked Gotham City, Elliot escaped to deploy the Batcave's resources against the Bat family. He was actually defeated by Alfred Pennyworth, but after a period of detention has returned. After a period of detention has returned, still seeking vengeance and validation, beside Bane and the other Bat foes.
Not Bat foes.
On the record, the pre-Flashpoint Hush was traumatized by an abusive childhood and plotted to kill his parents to get their money. He harbored a grudge against his childhood friend, Twain, because of his wealth and status. As Hush, he plotted with the Riddler to destroy Batman through a series of attacks intended to break his body and spirit. In Heart of Hush, he intensified his campaign of terror by literally stealing the heart of Batman's beloved Catwoman. Tommy Elliott would stop at nothing to assume every aspect of Bruce Wayne's life, including replacing him as Batman. He's also a master of disguise. I don't know why that wasn't in his powers and abilities, because he's able to graft the skin of anybody and make himself look exactly like that person.
Yep. All right. So, I've got a guy, and the reason I know this man is because, again, okay, this is like super nerdy. We used to play a game called HeroClix.
Okay.
And I'm actually looking at them right now because I remember how much fun I used to fucking have with these things. And I sold them all when I got, because like I don't remember why I sold them. Anyway, this particular character was a fucking pain in the ass to fight, and you'll understand why. First appearance was New Mutants number 98, February 1991. His name is Gideon. Occupation is, why did that just change pages? There's a ghost in here. His occupation is the CEO of Opera Industries. Base is Colorado. He is 6'8", 265 pounds.
Holy
blue
shit.
blue eyes, green hair. Special powers and abilities. Let me move this out of my way. Mutant abilities to duplicate the superhuman powers of others by aligning himself with their energy signatures. He also has a greatly extended lifespan.
Good lord.
This man fucking sucks. He literally would like stand, like in this game you'd play, he'd stand next to you and absorb your powers and be able to do the same moves that you can do.
Oh my god.
Let's see. A member of the long-lived mutants who call themselves the Externals, Gideon was a power broker who called the halls of big business his natural habitat. Utterly corrupt, Gideon attempted to take Roberto da Costa, the new mutant known as Sunspot, under his wing and turn him into his protege. However, his attempts to turn Sunspot into an external like himself met with failure, and he soon turned his intentions to other pursuits. Gideon was subsequently slain by the external vampire Selene, who had embarked on a vendetta against her fellow externals. But yeah, dude is a fucking menace. Like, again, it's a short entry, but just like his powers and abilities alone, like he is a super scroll, like on crack.
Jesus Christ.
But I remember him from playing HeroClix, and like every time my buddy would play him, it was one of his like favorite players. Every time he'd play that, I'm like, you motherfucker, I hate you.
You son of a
I
bitch.
hate you. Yeah.
That's fucked. I'm actually looking up HeroClix right now because
Oh my God, dude.
I've never actually played it.
It is like, I just remember like having so much fucking fun with this shit. I had so much money. The page still exists. It's called Troll and Toad, and that's where we used to buy them all. And then there was also another one that was called I forget what the other one was, but there was a store in Richmond where we were from called Hastings, and Hastings had them on the shelf, and we bought them from there all the time. And when I sold my collection to my buddy who I used to play with all the time, I think I sold it to him for like $750. Like,
damn,
I had quite a few characters, and he's like, honestly, there's only like a few characters of yours I want because I don't have them. He said, but I'll buy your entire collection. I was like, oh, okay. It was one of those where like I was like, you know, I had money in it, but he was offering me more money, and it was at the time where I was like young, dumb, and stupid. I'm like, yeah, fucking $750. You know,
holy shit.
Now I'm like, shit, I wish I could have all of those back because it was so much fun. Like, I'll have to, dude, I'm sitting here like looking like I'm about to go buy like a couple starter packs.
Is that still a big game?
I don't know. I do not know. I just know like I would sit and play this. We would go over to our buddy's house because it comes with like a map and all kinds of stuff. Like, when you buy a starter kit, it comes with a map that you play on, and you start your characters, and each character has the bottom of like your character sits on a base, and then that base will like twist. Uh-oh, I think we lost Brones. I think we did. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. Well then. You just get to see Brones' face. Because I think his internet went out. It's not my internet. I still L live. He was having issues with this. Hold on, let me do this.
Confused. I'm still live.
What just happened?
I don't know.
Could you hear me at all?
Yeah, I was fine.
On my side, like you were completely frozen for the past like minute.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, no, I didn't have any issues.
That's so weird. Like I looked over to see your screen, and it was like digitized and frozen. But
yeah, on your camera was like grainy as fuck for a second.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I heard everything you said. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I couldn't
like,
hear
I'm here.
I couldn't hear you at all.
Oh, what the fuck?
Fucking Discord. But anyway, the characters sit on a base, and the base rotates.
Okay.
And there's like a little window that you look at, and that window shows like little pictures, and those pictures correlate to a card, and the card has your abilities. So like when you're at full health, you have like so many abilities. Well, as you get hit and you take damage, your abilities do less damage. And like as you move down, you actually start to lose powers and abilities. And then certain characters have like, when you get to like 1 HP or something, you've got like a fucking coup de grace type ability that you can only use with 1 HP type situation.
Gotcha. I actually have heard about this. I was at a comic book store with my sister.
Yeah.
When she came down to visit.
Yeah.
Or up to visit. I was with her, and yeah, I remember we went into a comic book store.
I'm legit about to like order like 6 starter packs because I used to have so much fun. I'll just sit here and play it by my fucking self.
But yeah, they I do remember that because I was like, what the fuck is all this shit? And she was telling me
some of single figures go for a stupid amount of money.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these. They're like $20 a piece.
See, my favorite one was an Iron Man and War Machine. Let's see if I can find it. Yep,
right now I'm looking at this pack they've got. It's a
Where at?
Marvel Avengers 60th anniversary booster pack or
Yeah.
booster brick.
So
It's
a brick,
$169.
so a brick comes with like 8 packages. Each package has 5 characters in it.
Okay.
So if you want
Yeah.
just a single sleeve, they're like $15 or something like that. But
Yeah,
if you
this
buy
is
a brick, it's a
saying-
whole thing.
Holy shit. This set contains 16 common characters, 12 uncommon,
Yep.
10 rare, and 3 primes.
Primes
10
are your
super
like,
rare,
yeah.
9 chase figures, 1 ultra chase, 14 legacy cards, and 10 team up cards. Holy crap.
Where are you looking?
I'm on WizKids Hero Clicks.
WizKids. Yeah, WizKids was another one.
Yeah, WizKids.com is what I'm on right now.
Oh, yeah. You're looking at the actual, okay. Yeah, the actual
Yeah.
website. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So this Iron Man War Machine character right here, which I can show it to the stream, but I can't show it to you. I'll show it to you here in a second. It has an ability. Let me see if I can find it.
All I want is Nightcrawler. I don't care about the rest. I want Nightcrawler. Which one's Gideon?
It's not this one. Gideon. If I can find him. Yeah, it's this bastard right here. I remember him because he has like, where's his ability? I can't read it. It's too small.
Oh yeah, I know what this. I know who this guy is.
Yeah. So oh shit, I didn't mean to click out of that. The Iron Man War Machine piece that I had. Do you remember in the movie in Iron Man 2 where Iron Man uses the lasers to like slice the hemorrhoids in half?
Yeah.
So this piece has that ability, and any character within like 1 or 2 squares was an instant death.
Oh shit.
So like you didn't want to hurt him to activate that ability, but you wanted to get close to kill him.
Right.
But you didn't want to risk being too close.
Yeah.
Because I probably was only like, in the entire time that we ever played the game, I was only able to use that move like 3 or 4 times, because again, when you take the damage, you can go right past that special ability and you won't be able to use it. So
Right.
we would go over to our friend's house, and I'm not shitting you, we'd go in there at like 9-10 o'clock. We wouldn't come out till fucking daylight. Like, we were in there
Jesus Christ.
days. We'd stay down in this basement and play.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm a big old nerd.
Hell yeah. Nothing wrong with it.
Nope. But yeah, that's all I got.
Hell yeah. All right, folks. Well, that is it for our episode tonight. Thank y'all for hanging out, showing a little bit of love. Means the world to us. We're just here. We like to have fun, man. We like to talk about all the things that we love, you know. We don't, not many people talk about the shit that we do, you know. You've got a lot of these podcasts where they just talk about the news, and we wanted to separate that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
a lot of these superhero podcasts that talk about superhero news, not like world news, you know, and we wanted to separate ourselves from that and like truly make it our own by talking about our personal loves of things and just going on bullshit rants. Like, we want to give you guys a little bit of information about what's going on in Marvel and DC, but we really want to keep it
We don't want to
personalized.
base it on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was an issue that we were having, but I think we're in a good spot now where we just talk about whatever the fuck it is we want to talk about. We just talked about hero clicks for like 20 minutes.
It's my fave. Honestly, like, if I had more friends around closer to me that would play this, I would 100% dive way too deep into this again.
Oh, dude, if I lived in Florida and I lived near you, I would get so many hero clicks and we would play it forever.
It's so much fun. Like, it really is. Like, you sit there and just veg out because, I mean, some matches go quick and you wipe the fucking board. Some matches are like, they take a lot of time to do.
Hours.
Yeah, buddy.
That sounds amazing, though. That sounds fucking fun.
Hey, you need this X-Men pack that's got the... Dude, that fucking... Oh, my God. That Nightcrawler is sick.
I love Nightcrawler.
I gotta show you that Nightcrawler. Hold on. We'll end stream and I'll show it to you.
Okay. I
All right,
turned
ladies
off
and
my
gentlemen.
gaming PC.
All right, gotcha. All right, ladies and gents, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for just, you know, being you and you know, watching us, listening to us do what we do. So until next
Hell
time,
yeah.
I'm that Doug Dude.
I'm Brones.
And